Stay tuned to the end of this video to hear my thoughts on a doll that you all have been asking me about. Hola high fashion doll lovers, my name is Christopher y bienvenidos to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the newly revealed FR Monogram gift set from Integrity Toys. I will also in this video finally be sharing my thoughts on the Venus Rising, yes, I was looking over my notes, from Jason Wu. It is a doll that actually was revealed back in April, and a few of you have been asking for my thoughts on her, so I figured this is actually the best video to include that in. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So I'm starting with the FR Monogram. I actually have a piece of paper with me now. You know, things have changed, so I have to adapt. So the name of this gift set is actually Popular, the FR Monogram gift set, expected to be shipping winter 2025. She has a special W Club retail price of $199 plus shipping and handling, and for those non-W Club members, her price will be $239. That is not about the price, that is just me processing all the things I want to say, because this is a gift set. Now, I have read a few comments, I have seen a few things, I agree with a few things that I've seen online, but I'm going to start with the positive. Okay, and the positive is this gift set, especially in the box that it comes with. Insert photo here, please, because it's a work of art. You know, we can say everything we want about the doll, and we'll get into that in a few seconds, but the gift set as a whole, from the colors, from the vibe, from the story that it's kind of telling collectively, it is a work of art. This box, how it unfolds and really opens to give you this scenery. Honestly, if I was a little bit better with my DIY dioramas, I feel like this box could be turned into one. But I won't be purchasing this doll, so that won't be a project for me. I do know someone who is, and I might have to have this conversation with them, because the box is just stunning. Like, and I know that I'm talking a lot about the box, but the presentation here really is like the cream of the crop. But the items inside are also just as good. So let's get into those looks one by one. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the undergarment look, we're going to call it. Now, with the undergarment look, I think it is the look that really highlights the displeased. Nope, that's not a word, Christopher. That's not where you're trying to go. With how people are unsatisfied with the fact that a poppy body is being used for this gift set. Now, I will be completely upfront and let you know that I did not watch the live. I was busy. And I don't know much about the FR Monogram line originally. At this point, I'm 6 years into collecting Integrity Toys, but I kind of know from the point that I started and forward, unlike other collectors that I know started later who really did a lot of their research and know a lot of like the older archive things from Integrity Toys, I do not. So I don't originally know what body this doll was on, but from what I see in the comments, it was not a poppy body. And in this look in particular is where I think the poppy body does this gift set a disservice. Now, the theme of this gift set is very haute couture. We don't see much of that in this teddy, but again, the way that the bodysuit is shaped with the little cutout, personally, it just looks awkward on this body, and I would have loved to see it on something else. I did speak to a friend and I was told that the FR Monogram dolls were like a lot taller than the 12-inch dolls. And I feel like we could have created something using maybe a meteor body with like a new face bust. Something could have worked here to give us a better body to display these outfits. So yeah, this look really was the look that kind of highlighted the whole, why is it the Poppy Parker body? It was with this one. I will, however, say that I really love the robe that's included with this set. I really love how the stockings have that little lace detail. Overall, a beautiful undergarment look that works lovely with this set, but it is the look that highlighted the unfortunate Also, not a word. I'm on a roll and we have just started this video. It really highlights how the body doesn't complement the look and how there's a lot of questions as to why this body was used in particular. But with that, let's move on to the second look. And for me, I'm going to focus on the green outfit. Okay, now this look is fun. I actually really love it. Not as much as the pink one that we're going to talk to next, but this look, okay, I'm like, let me sit back. You really have to be a master of blending colors in order to make something like this work. Because between the patterns, the shade of green that's used, the little hint of pink, it's art at its best. And the coat that goes with this dress is another piece of art. I will say though that I'm not really sure why the bracelet was used in this set. I remember this bracelet from like the New Fantasy. I personally have it. It's cute, but not one that I would have included here. I do love the use of the dropped down earrings for this look. And I think in this look is when the other topic that I wanted to talk about stands out. And that is the makeup. Yeah, I have questions. See, I think the hairstyle and the shade of red is absolutely fabulous with this gift set. It works with every look. However, this makeup is very heavy. And this is a personal thing. You know, let me know in the comments what you think. But I think when our outfits are so loud, our makeup needs to be a little bit more subtle and a little bit more clean glam, if I may. Like, I feel like the shade of red maybe could have been a muted shade of red, something a little darker, not as bright to like combat the brightness of the look. I feel like the gold and then the blue on the eyes just seems a little too harsh. There's already so much going on in this gift set, color-wise and pattern-wise and style-wise, that really creating this makeup on this face just makes it feel a little cartoonish, a little clownish, a little out of the box cray. Now, when we get to the next look, there's a reference photo that I could kind of see where maybe the inspiration of this makeup came for, but not completely. And then I also know that Chris does East 59th Street, and the makeup really does look like a screening that's used there a lot. So I don't know if we were recycling a screening. I know there are people out there that know this more than me. Is this a recycled screening from East 59th Street? Because I feel like it is. Is it? And now to the third and final look of this gift set. Now, before I show you the produced version for the doll, I'm going to be sharing an image of the actual garment from a fashion show that was shared by someone on Instagram. Insert photos here. If I'm not mistaken, this is a look from John Galliano. And if I'm also not mistaken, at convention, Chris had shared this image as a reference. I remember images like this. If it wasn't this one, it was something in the vibes. And I definitely do remember this kind of being shared as an upcoming thing. Now that I say that in this video, what else was shared at that convention that I need to be thinking about? I need to revisit those videos. But anyways, this particular look is the look that stole the show of this gift set. Because what I like of what Chris did here is the fact that it's kind of taken a modern twist with all the skin being exposed once you remove that like jacket layer. And like, maybe that they showed this in the live, I'm not sure, I didn't watch, but I would have loved to see how it really interacts and how it plays with the jacket coming. Does the panel that we see on the body, does it kind of go over the jacket and the jacket kind of goes under? Like, how does that work? I want to know, because honestly, Chris is a master of layers and intricate parts coming together to make something grander or simple, or making something a little bit more simple. So I just really love that he included that in this gift set, because it just shows his master skill of styling. Because this look, I would have loved another pair of earrings. Just gonna throw that out there. Oh, and I forgot to say in the green look, that's not coming back. I'm a little sad that we only got one purse in this gift set. I guess the big pink bag in this third look works with the green look, but I would have loved for that look to have a little bit more of a subtle like envelope bag, you know, something a little bit smaller, not so grand, but that's just my opinion. And now for the moment that many have been waiting for, it seems. I've been asked by multiple people in different posts and different videos where are my thoughts on this doll. And sometimes I responded to people like, who are you talking about? That is how quickly I forgot about this doll. And if you're not in the know what doll I'm talking about, I am talking about Venus Rising, Eugenia Perrin Frost dress doll from Jason Wu. She is also expected to ship winter 2025, similar as a gift set. She has a W Club special price of $199 plus shipping and handling. I find that interesting. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then her non-club price is $225. Now let's stop right there before I share any further thoughts about this doll. Because as I was writing this paper down, I was like, hold on. You're trying to tell me that a gift set that comes with 3 full looks and a doll costs the same as one doll from Jason Wu? Let that just sit in that the name Jason Wu costs that much, because I really do not think, in no way, shape, or form, that this doll should cost that. I just don't. Okay. A few things about this doll, and why you haven't heard my thoughts about her earlier. If I'm not mistaken, this doll was unveiled around April 15-ish. I'm making this video in June. And I was actually out of the country. I was on vacation when this doll came out. And when I saw the images of this doll in particular, it didn't tickle my fancy. I thought the look was okay. I didn't think it was anything grand. I didn't think it was anything special. I didn't think it was anything unique. I thought it was just a tulle black skirt with a sequins bodysuit, and it wasn't saying much to me. Then the price, just because of the fact that it is Jason Wu, does not make it that more appealing to me. And the final nail in the coffin for me with this doll was her screening. I don't know what it is, but it just looked very plain, very dead on arrival. There was something that didn't feel exciting about her. There was something that felt very kind of like plain. Plain is the only word that keeps in my mind. Like she just didn't spark. Even so much so that when people would ask, what are your thoughts on the Eugenia? And I was like, the what? Or when someone was like, what are your thoughts on Venus Rising? And I was like, what's Venus Rising? It was forgettable. It was forgettable. Even when things are bad, I feel like I would remember. And that just goes to prove that the doll isn't bad. She's just a forgettable doll. And that is kind of the reason why I just didn't share my thoughts on her before. It just didn't seem to make sense, honestly. Before I go, I just wanted to share that I am pretty surprised that I heard from the grapevine that the Chris Stockel gift set was what was not meant to be revealed this past Friday, the 30th of May. No. And that makes sense. Hear me out. I, for the longest, have been playing detector on these emails. And the email that was being sent out about the reveal on the 30th kept on saying this item, not a doll. See, when Integrity is going to be revealing a doll, they usually say doll and they usually name the brand. But when Integrity is not releasing a doll, they use the word item. For example, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm all for it. When the trunk was introduced, they said there was an item on the way because it wasn't a doll. I think when the Jason Wu fashion pack was released, they also said an item. I don't think they called it a fashion pack because it's not a doll. So I feel like what they meant to show us was an item. I don't have any like feelings or vibes towards what the item may be. I hope it's a playset. And by what do you mean by playset, Chris? Well, I don't know much about the doll history and Integrity Toys. I know very, very little. No expert whatsoever. But in my research of the past, I have found that Integrity used to sell furniture for their dolls. They used to have a bedroom set with like satin sheets. There was a living room set. So when I say play set, I think more furniture. So in the spirit of celebrating 20th anniversary and in the spirit of revisiting things from the past, from Monogram, maybe they'll revisit the furniture from the past and try to bring it forward. You know, we recently did have that bench with the ring light from the Get Ready With Me Nausea. There was a Poppy that had the chair with the table and the lamps. So, you know, in the recent years, we've been getting small things. So I wonder now for the celebration, is that what's coming? Is that what was intended? And they also did mention a lot more things were going to be revealed. So make sure to subscribe because I will be sharing my thoughts and opinions on all of them. And until next time, guys, adios.